Thanks for checking out the Rudits and Laws podcast, driven by the Ford Ranger Raptor, inspired by desert racing. Ford Ranger Raptor has been developed by the Australian design and engineering team with Ford Performance DNA for true enthusiasts.
New Hilux in stock with bonus $1,000 accessories at Peter Kittle Toyota.
I have some exciting news.
What news?
You are fake news.
Well, that's good news.
Triple M Breakfast with Rudits and Laws. Overnight news.
Our thoughts and our hearts go out to the family of Sam May, West Adelaide footballer who was 24. He's in a coma in the Royal Adelaide Hospital after falling through the roof of the Pier Hotel in Port Lincoln on the early hours of Sunday morning after playing a SANFL game against Nord over there in the Teakle Cup. He fell through the roof and was found there in the morning when his teammates, when he didn't rock up to the airport to catch the flight home, they realised something was wrong and they went and found him, which is not good. And, yeah, it's just a shocking story. There's no winners out of it, but... Gee, young boys, not just Sammy, but me and plenty of others do stupid things when they're on the booze.
Yeah, I think he's a tennis coach as well. Of some,
yeah, PAC he was. Yep, but hopefully he can pull through. I don't know what's going to happen, but good luck to him and thoughts with the family.
Yeah, what's happening with Elon Musk?
He's asking that. Well, it's a bit of a beef between him and Anthony Albanese. Albanese's sort of suggesting that we need to take down the videos that are up there of the Bondi Massacre on Twitter or X or whatever the hell he wants to call it now. And Elon's saying, no, it's free speech. So they're at a bit of an impasse and people are disagreeing about what should and shouldn't be allowed to be,
who's
censorship, who's right, who's wrong. And we all want free speech, but do we really need that vision on the internet? Like, is that what free speech
I don't reckon
means?
That's speech, is it? Showing people getting stabbed?
Well, I guess it's, freedom of information, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. And then if you say no to that, then it's like opening a can of worms, I guess. Yeah. Like, where do you draw the line? But
it does seem to be a bit insensitive, doesn't it?
It's gratuitous, in my
we've
opinion.
had cigarettes, we've had vapes, and now we've got a new thing happening with the kids, nicotine patches, or another word for it, I think, is it snus?
Oh, the pouches, the little ones that you stick up under your gum, like under your lip.
Yeah.
Are kids doing that now?
Snus or...
Snus, I think they call it, yeah.
Yeah, so the little packets look like little pillows, and they've been finding them in Australia for the last couple of years. I'd never, heard of them recently. This was a common thing for Americans to do for years and years.
Yeah, it's up there with the chewing tobacco.
Yeah, well, that's basically what they do. They just shove it up there. It's the same thing.
It's like that, but they don't spit it out into a spittoon or anything. They just keep it up there.
So,
children are doing that now.
High school kids are doing it in class because they can't get
Where do they
caught.
buy it?
Well, probably the tobacconists, I suppose. Same places that are getting firebombed over the illegal tobacco laws that are going on at the moment.
Yeah. Hey, just something else to argue about in the car now when you're on a family, journey or with the missus or the husband in the car. You know how when you put into Google Maps, you want to go somewhere, sometimes it'll give you 2 and maybe 3 different routes. Yeah. And it will say, take Main North Road, it'll get there in 42 minutes, or go to Gawler on the expressway, it's 39 minutes.
Avoid the tolls.
That's the other one, this one now, the most fuel-efficient route. So you'll be in the car now and you'll punch it in, and the missus will go, what are you going that way for? Turn left here. So most fuel-efficient.
Really?
Yeah, so you're going to have other options as well.
Oh, not a bad idea.
There you go.
What could be the big difference between
stopping and starting?
Stopping and starting, okay.
Yeah. And the other, I guess what will come in soon is where you can plug in.
True.
Take this route, there are, power points along the way.
We're on holidays. Did you see the photo at Keith in Gather-Round with all the Victorians driving over?
No.
It's about 40 electric vehicles all lined up for one.
And apparently it takes forever.
Yeah,
the
would have been a disaster. We haven't quite caught up with that yet.
No.
Plug in at Keith.
Loz, did you ever get told to listen, stop and listen?
What?
Have a listen to a live read yesterday. I think Dit started it off.
Yeah.
And I don't know what world you were in.
Yeah.
It wasn't Triple M land.
She was texting on her phone.
Oh,
was she?
Yeah.
scrolling through TikTok or doing something?
Oh, not even that
No?
cool. Instagram.
All right. Well, let's just have a little listen to a live.
Well, more than 500 smokers registered last May and benefited from having a go at quitting smoking. Now, if you take part, you can choose to receive support messages, quitting tips and distraction methods to help combat your cravings.
Yeah, it's really good. More than 500 smokers registered last May and benefited from having a go at quitting. So if you take part, you can choose to receive support and quitting tips and distraction methods.
Just in case you missed it the first
That's right.
time.
It's an important message. 500,
there you go.
more than 500.
Yeah, but that would never have happened. No,
Did you ever get told off for not listening?
Not that I can remember.
Well, have a
Maybe I
listen to
should've.
this. Not far away from talking about kids being naughty. When have they stolen stuff? When have they forged stuff? When have they done a little bit naughty stuff around the house?
Also, in this half hour, I want to hear about your naughty kids. Things that little sort of acts of. I wanted to hear about them too.
I told you, listen.
Hey, you wanted to hear about them, and I wanted to hear about
Don't
them.
want to listen to me because I annoy the hell out of you. At least listen to Hamish.
It's 8:16 and it's Rude, it's and Loz waking you up on your Monday morning here on Triple M.
Yeah, 8:16 it is.
Yeah, well,
There's
we
an
know
echo
it's
in here.
8:16. He just told us it was 8:16.
right.
What's the time now?
It's 6:22.
Someone sent in a text saying that they refuse to pay for the 25-cent bag at the supermarket, so carrying it to the car.
I get done every bloody time.
Yeah, I know.
Did you bring your bags?
No.
You need bags? Of course I bloody do. I forget.
Yes.
Say just texted in as well, the 25 cents for a shopping bag at a supermarket. Now, it's 25 cents, but you think, I had to do this yesterday. You think, why am I paying for this?
Who's going to tell him? Who's going to tell him?
I'm not doing
Let's go to a break.
There's a touch of deja vu about this show, isn't
I
it?
didn't know that.
You don't remember the who's going to tell him moment.
All right.
All right, listen up, everyone. Can everyone listen, please?
Yeah,
Come on, pay
listen.
attention.
For all your steel supplies, it has to be Centurion Steel. Centurion.com.au.
G'day, it's Tex Walker from the Crows.
Tex.
Oh, good morning, Tex.
Morning.
Thanks for the coffee.
Loz.
Now, a heartbreaking loss. Tex, I asked Roo this question yesterday. The AFL came out afterwards and said, basically, the umpires got it wrong. Does that help? Does that make you feel better? Does it, doesn't do anything for you, does it?
Not at all. No, especially when it's happened 3 times in the last probably 15 games for us.
Yeah, right.
So, very, very tough pill to swallow. And, it's funny because a lot of people would say, well, don't put yourselves in that situation. Well, guess what? We're in that situation. And, again, we probably... And it doesn't mean, as me at the time, it doesn't mean I automatically go back and kick the goal and we
No,
win.
you would have had to kick it too.
Probably would have, but but you know what I mean. It's just harder pill to swallow. Like, good on you for owning your mistake, but I think we should be looking at something that it's a
Captain's
I
call.
do.
They are talking about potentially
think-
having one captain's call a game. In the
Yeah.
But how would that
Look
work?
at-
Explain that. What does
Captain's
the
call.
captain say? Can we please go
We
to
go
the,
back and
the
have a
screen
look at
and
it.
have a look?
One again.
And then it
Maybe,
might
yeah.
have to go to the bunker or something, I suppose.
Yeah, I think. Well, there needs to be something. You can't let results, because I look at it this way. I'm like, we're in a position now. We were 1-4 going into it. If we go 2-4, does that kickstart your season a little bit? Maybe, maybe not. We could always sit here and procrastinate over it, but I don't know. It's a tough pill to swallow, Dits.
It always annoys me when people say, oh, well, you should have been sorted earlier in the game and it would have been fine. Games are won and lost by points all the time. That if you want to do that, then you go, oh, well, Collingwood got a free in the last quarter and they won by a point. You go back and those games don't matter. So I just think...
But there is a theory in sport, though. Like, it's a very good point you raised. But there is a theory in whatever sport you're playing that if I hadn't have made those 10 mistakes during the game, we wouldn't rely on that last umpire's call. No, but do you subscribe to that text or not?
Yeah, I get all
Both
that.
right,
I do get all that. And we went great on Friday night, but I think it was a mature effort from our team, because in the past, if we were that bad, we wouldn't have been in a position to win the game. But for me, I'm like, I look at it a bit more glass half full, and I'm like, we're in a position to beat a team that's in the top 8 on the weekend off the back of a game that we were very poor.
Well, let's address that. You beat Carlton in what was a great effort.
Yeah.
So you roll up a week later and dish up that in the first quarter and a bit. I mean, that was unacceptable. Sorry to say, but that was garbage.
Yeah, it was.
So how does that happen?
Good question, mate. We did review yesterday, and it's like sometimes you walk out a review and you can't go, oh, it was exactly this. They were better than us in the contest, and they tackled us and pressured us a lot more than what we could to them on Friday night. So it's just another, we can keep saying it's a learning for us, but, as Crows fans, you're probably sitting there getting sick of us saying that it's learning, but, it's unacceptable, and we're getting a bit sick of it as well. So, we've got to pull our socks up and own up to what we're dishing up at the moment, because it's nowhere near consistent enough for what we expect, let alone what our fans are expecting when they roll into the game.
For all your steel supplies, it has to be Centurion Steel. Centurion.com.au.
G'day, it's Tex Walker from the Crows.
Tex.
Thursday, Tex. Happy birthday. Anzac Day. Just a little spring chicken, little 34-year-old on Thursday.
34.
34.
You're older than me.
So you have to get up and
better looking.
go and do the dawn service for your birthday?
I will, yeah. I'll take the boys.
Yeah,
last year I took Hugo, and it was a bit of a colourful morning.
Yeah, he wouldn't quite understand the
he wanted to go to the toilet the whole time.
Oh, no.
So I took him back to the car. I said, well, there's a box here. Just use the box, and we'll sort it out later. No, Dad.
No.
You want him to poo in a box?
I was dedicated to paying my respects to people that fought for our country.
When they're in the war, they had to just poo on the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Harden up.
I think they would have been okay if you just took him to the toilet.
There was no toilets around there.
Oh,
One
okay.
that I went to. So.
But have a good birthday, Texan.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we doing anything special?
No, we'll do something in the morning. Then I said to Ellie I wanted to go and maybe walk around and watch Lucas play golf. She said,
there you go.
Oh, are we coming? I said, no, I don't think so.
Tickets aren't that easy.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get back to the footy. Mentioned Josh Rochelle. Look, what can I say? He's been under the microscope, the spotlight. People accusing him of maybe pulling out a couple of times. Let's hear him on Channel 9 News last night.
The first one was just more about, I thought someone was coming right over the top of me, and completely, honestly, just, wasn't brave enough in that situation, which, I'm going to have to take that and move on and learn from it. And the other one was just a complete misjudge.
Said to Roo earlier, I think it's fantastic that he's come out and actually faced the media and said that. I think it'll help him.
Yeah, it's funny, like I get asked a lot, what's Josh Rochelle like? And the best way I can describe Josh is when Ellie's father-in-law was sick, he was one of the first people to message me, how you going? Can I do anything for you? When he passed, one of the first boys to message me, mate, I'm so sorry to hear. One of the first kids to come and give me a hug and say, mate, I love you. So people see what he puts out on the field, and he loves the crowd and getting involved.
Yeah.
And does he have to pick his moments? Yes, he does. And I've continued to speak to him. I've been in the exact same position as he has, and I just think it's a great learning curve for a kid who's 20 years of age, who's got enormous talent. We've invested a lot of time into this kid, and we will continue to do that. And I think it's a great learning curve for Josh, and hasn't killed him. And it's just going to make him stronger.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said it that way. I think by him coming out and speaking like that, he's instead of hiding and I don't want to talk to anyone, I don't want to talk to the media, I think he shows a lot of strength actually. And
he's a resilient little kid.
Yeah. In the review, what about there was an incident in the game where he probably could have given off as well, the McHenry one as well. Did he cop it in the review, or was the coaching staff kind to him? Or
no, we show clips throughout reviews, and you see you have your one-on-one stuff. So he's certainly seen that, and that's another one. It's another great learning curve for him that, don't ever bite the hand that feeds you. And if you can share with other people, I'm sure they share the other way. So he's another little learning curve for him. And, he'll be fine. We will wrap our arms around him and get him playing. Because he's playing some really good footy. He's playing a really key role for us.
He does some brilliant things.
Yeah.
He's an amazing little player for sure.
He'll get there. You got a gag for us?
Well, did you know Sylvester Stallone is on his third marriage?
Really?
Is he?
Yep. But I guess his first one was Rocky. And his second one was Rocky too.
Oh, no.
He might have 6 marriages then.
Or did.
Hey, before you go, a mate of ours yesterday, when I had a hole in one on the weekend, on Saturday. Freo.
Well, it's debatable.
Why?
You're a golfer.
Yeah.
If you, how many holes on a golf course?
18.
So if you hit it on the 19th, temporary hole, does that count?
Is it a temporary hole?
Clubhouse.
Temporary hole.
Well,
down at
Glenelg
Glenelg.
are doing a massive renovation, so the 19th
that's not a
comes.
hole in one.
It's not.
Then why have
Sorry,
it? Then
Freo.
why have the hole at all if it doesn't count?
Nah, sorry, Freo.
Oh,
I'm on his team.
geez, I'd love to see his face right now if he was listening.
That's a Clayton's hole in one.
Yeah.
What's a Clayton's?
Oh, I'll explain it to you later.
One
Take
you're
too
having
long.
when you're not having one.
Yeah.
Righto.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's get out of here.
See you
Ruditz,
guys.
Loz, and Tex Walker. Thanks to Centurion Steel.
Ru and Loz, each year, or for the last few years, we've been doing a hike for hope, haven't we?
Yes, yep. It's an opportunity to raise money for some really important causes. And this year we were really moved by, we met a woman called Renee.
Yeah.
And we met her through the Little Heroes Foundation. And she has one of the most heartbreaking stories I've ever heard. All 3 of her children have a terminal illness. They have childhood dementia. I'd never heard of it in my life. And
Only 10% of the population have heard of it.
Yeah.
Only 10%, and it affects the same number of children as childhood cancer. The funding is minuscule in comparison. The awareness is minuscule in comparison. And we were just so heartbroken and moved that we wanted to do our walk to raise some money for them.
And we raised $115,000,
Yes, we
all
did.
thanks to our listeners
All right.
and sponsors of Triple M.
So this is what happened back in November.
Loz, we're about 20 Ks in and we've stopped in with our major sponsor of the walk. We're here
We
at
have.
Solitaire Volkswagen at Hawthorne. And
We got a cheque for $20,000.
magnificent. Thank you so much.
They made it to McGain Real Estate on Brighton Road.
Rude, it's a Loz on Triple M, our hike for hope. Look, Loz and Rue take the mickey out of me for the number of times in a year I can mention McGain on air. But there's a
Okay.
cheque just behind us that Mike is going to present
I'm
to
not
us, so
gonna
we
turn
don't know
around.
how
We don't
much
know
it
how
is.
you've raised.
Got looks like here $25,000.
Finally, they made it all the way to the Jetty Bar.
The momentum that Triple M have given childhood dementia, not just Renee, but the 2,500 families in Australia that are suffering and they're in a similar spot, has reached ears that you didn't think it would reach. And there's going to be an announcement by Monday, and Triple M will get it first, about not just what's happened today, but what's happened for a lot of years. So it's been a phenomenal 6 weeks, and Triple M own this space. And Renee and I and Little Heroes can't thank you enough for what you've done.
But at this stage, we have raised $107,000.
So 107 ended up being 115 because some late donations came in, which was great. Now, at the time, Chris said by Monday there'll be an announcement. There's been a little bit of red tape along the way, but they've worked hard behind the scenes. Now, yesterday we all met in the South Parklands, and Renee was there and Little Heroes, Chris McDermott. But the Premier was there as well to announce this.
All of the effort that we make around the country in childhood cancer, around about the same number of people lose their life each year to childhood dementia. Yet there is so little research put into it, and that needs to change, which is why the state government is announcing a $250,000 funding contribution in conjunction to another $250,000 coming from the Little Hero Foundation to see a $500,000 nation-leading effort into the research around childhood dementia.
Now, how good is that? $500,000. So, again, I want to go back to everyone that donated at the time, including our listeners and our sponsors. A big, big thank you, because that's what's happened as of yesterday.
Well, and they're optimistic about if they put that money into the right places that they might be able to find some treatments.
Yep, we heard from the head researcher yesterday.
They said in the lifetime they were hoping to get a treatment or potentially a cure. So let's hope so. Let's hope the smart scientists of Australia can get to work.
All right. Now, at the time, we met Renee, and you mentioned her, Loz. It is maybe the most heartbreaking story I've ever heard of a mum because, and a lot of people have battled with illness, we know that. When I say it's the most heartbreaking, because she's got 3 children who have all been afflicted with this. Now, she was told in her first visit to the doctor that one of her babies, her baby at the time, may not reach the age of 10. Now, to get that sort of news
50%
would
of
be
them don't
absolute
make it past
devastation.
10.
Yep.
She then got told later on that it's genetic. The other 2 children have got the same thing. So she was facing the prospect of 3 children, her 3 kids.
She had a 1 in 4 chance
Not reaching.
of one of her children
Yeah.
having it,
Yeah.
and all 3 of them. I mean, the odds on that.
And she didn't know that before she had the kids.
That's
No,
right.
she didn't realise that she was both. They had a recessive and a carrier gene in her and her partner at the time.
So Renee was there also yesterday.
My daughter wants to captain the Port Adelaide girls team one day, and I don't want to be the one that takes the wind out of their sails and tells them that, something's really wrong here. We spend a lot more time hugging, and we spend a lot more time having fun and making memories than we would if we didn't think that time was not on our side. With increased funding comes increased awareness, and that's just going to make the world of difference to all the families that are feeling just like mine.
Probably the bravest woman I've ever seen. I
yeah.
couldn't even stand there without a tear in my eye, and she did it. She's unbelievable, that girl. She's an absolute river. She's a single mother, and how she does what she does is inspiring.
And her 3 kids were there yesterday running around the playground, and you look at them and you think, it's just not fair, is it?
It isn't fair.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway, well done, everybody, and well done to our government for getting on board and listening. And we had our small part in it, so we're a little bit proud of that. And you do radio stunts and you do radio things for different reasons, but this one was a great reason, and it was just, and all of our listeners and
Proud
sponsors
of all
got
the
on board.
listeners too for donating and raising awareness.
AutoCam, real-time video from Automasters. Triple M's Rumour Mill, Adelaide's most listened to segment. Hear it every day at 7:40 on Roo, Dits and Loz.
We've got an anonymous rumour on the line. Hello, good morning. What is your rumour?
Rumour is a plan for Northern Suburbs Council to walk off the job today for a wages and conditions dispute.
So all the staff in the admin building are going to strike against themselves?
Well, against their management, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hang on, you said admin building. Is it you say council workers out on the road, on the tools, or in the admin building? What is it?
I believe the majority of it is council workers that are out in the tools, but there is a mixture of admin as well.
Okay, so northern suburbs.
Yeah, quite a large council. Probably the largest in the north.
What's out north? Enfield, Tea Tree Gully, Playford.
Yeah, Playford's the biggest one, I guess.
One of those?
Have we mentioned it or not?
Yes, you have, yes, definitely.
Okay.
Which
All right.
one?
Playford.
Playford.
Oh, nice.
There
Thank you.
All right, we'll get there eventually.
Okay.
Now, are you involved in this dispute, or you just know about it?
Just know about it.
You're not landing on a shovel right now, are you?
No, it's hard work, boys, hard work.
All right. Good on you. All right, thanks for that. That's a juicy rumour.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk about councils putting up council rates.
They were all over the news last night, weren't they? A lot of them are having to put their rates up. All right, that's a good rumour. Before we move on, just a quick one. A live album is going to be released on Anzac Day, and it's the 25th anniversary of John Farnham, Kylie Minogue, and Doc Neeson performing for the troops in East Timor.
Oh,
They did a live
Wow.
concert, 25 years ago, and they're going to re-release this remastered, an album on Anzac Day.
Oh, cool. Haven't you got a rumour on the council as well?
Look, someone on the text line just said, well, if they go on strike, no one will notice any difference. I didn't say it. It was someone on the...
They'll just get back to your email 3 months late as opposed to 2 months late.
Is there anyone that's not whinging about their wages at the moment? Everyone's striking for everything, everywhere at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. Incredible. Yeah, hello on this Tuesday morning. If you're just joining us for the first time, it's a very important day for our cardboard cutouts.
Yes, they're out and about trying to get as much possible exposure as they can in order to be sent off to Live Golf in the UK. Or second prize, alternatively, is pretty awesome too. Going to Live Golf in Adelaide and having a VIP experience down at the watering hole.
Nice.
Or third place, going to Fisher.
Hey, someone asked me yesterday, with, say, some of your friends, can you just get to Fisher at night? Do you just buy like an admin ticket and go in? How does it work?
I think that's a possibility. A lot
Is
of
it?
people did that last year.
Yeah.
I think a sort of nighttime part. Well, look, I actually can't speak for that, but
Okay.
I think that's what a
Someone
lot
asked
of
me
people
about it.
did last year. Yeah.
All right. Now, what's the challenge today?
Well, they've had all sorts of challenges during the week, but today is up to them. So it's as much exposure as they can possibly get. The initiative is theirs. Think big, go large.
Any suggestions? What could we do? What about one of those little light planes that flies across the sky and have us trailing out behind it?
Oh, yeah.
Across the skies of Adelaide.
They've been in a
Something
private jet, but they haven't been behind a plane.
What about some sign writing in the sky with like live like Rude Dits and Laws? Yeah.
Could they get arrested?
Oh, we can't encourage that for legal reasons, but that
Or
would be
just the
interesting.
cardboard cutouts?
Or just the cardboard cutouts get arrested. What if could they get us on Media Watch?
Nah, we
can do that.
We do
Yeah.
that ourselves.
Okay.
We nearly got on Media
We don't
Watch.
need their help.
We nearly got on Media Watch yesterday. We nearly had a blue at this time of the day yesterday, Loz. You remember? What colour's a watermelon? You went to the deathbed on pink, and I said
I think
it's
it's
red.
pink. Yeah.
All right. Well, I've Googled it. We had a lot of interaction on the text line on 0488851047. Watermelons should be sweet to taste and have a uniform pinkish to red flesh colour.
So
So
it's a
we're
mixture.
little bit of both.
right.
All right.
Is that from an expert?
I asked actually, I had to ring a plumber yesterday, and he said watermelon itself is a colour on a lot of charts.
Ah, it is
So
too.
this is what I'm thinking, because when I bought things that were watermelon colour, they weren't red. They were more of a pink colour.
Right.
So my sort of female
Like lipstick.
brain, like lipsticks and clothes that were
And if
watermelon.
you cut open different watermelons, you can have pinky ones and red ones, depending on how ripe they are.
I just want to swing back to the fact
You
that
don't want to just try and win here, do you?
No.
No?
No, because I'm actually doing myself an injustice here by pointing this out. But why'd you ask your plumber what colour of
No, I didn't ask him. He told me.
Oh, okay.
He listens to the show.
I was going to say, have I missed something about
No,
the plumbers
I had to
knowing?
ring a plumber to get him.
He should have been a greengrocer.
School holidays, they've ruined it. Kids have ruined it.
But he
He
failed
said, by the
greengrocer
way,
and became a plumber.
watermelon is its own colour.
There we
That's
go.
right, it is. Yeah.
Everyone's joining
Hey, in a moment, we've got our 5 golfers here ready for the putt off. They're
right.
gonna have to putt to win a spot in the Pro-Am tomorrow down at Grange in the Live Golf Tournament. How good?
Yep. A hell of a prize up for grabs, all thanks to Live Golf. Live Like Rude Dits and Loz as well, all thanks to those guys too. Coming to town April 26th to 28th. Tickets at livegolf.com. It's Triple M.
Hey, this is great.
Time to go home there, ball.
One putt
All you got to do is just tap it in.
to play the round of a lifetime.
Just tap it in.
It's Triple M's putt off for Live Golf.
Yeah, good. The Premier contacted us on the weekend and said, hey, I've got an extra spot in the Pro-Am. And we did this last year. We're going to do it again.
Yeah,
5
exactly.
golfers.
Yep, we have. We've got Jamie who plays down at the Vines. G'day, Jamie.
G'day, how are we?
Yeah, good. How excited are you to potentially play in the Live Golf Pro-Am?
I don't know what to be more nervous, this or tomorrow morning teeing off.
What's your putting like?
Not great. Not great.
Not great.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I don't think I've ever met a golfer who says they're good at anything.
No, that's true.
What's your handicap?
9.
That's pretty good.
All right, we'll get over there. You're going to be first up.
Is it about a 3-metre putt, would you say? Something like that.
All
All
right.
right. Here we go. Jamie, first up. So it's an elimination process.
Okay.
We could get round to a second round if we get a couple. It's on its way.
Oh,
Jamie's just missed.
yes.
He's just missed.
Okay,
To
let's
the
get
left.
Craig up from Tea Tree Gully. G'day, Craig.
Morning, team.
He's off 7, Dits.
All right. What's been your last handicap?
This is it.
This is it? So
Yeah.
you're okay. Peak form at the moment.
I'm bouncing back out as we speak, Did.
Are you good? Are you a good putter?
I always get the third one.
He's a
I can
comedian.
relate to that. Righto, step up to the plate, Craig.
Hey, good golf course.
So we're
too,
down to
Tea Tree
4.
Gully.
It is it's very narrow. Very narrow. Right, we're down to 4 golfers
Especially when
already.
you know.
Here we go. 3-metre putt. It's on its way.
It's
Oh,
in.
nailed it.
Oh, he's
Right.
in.
So
nice,
we
Craig.
have at least one golfer
Good.
going through to the second
Okay.
round.
All right, Song.
Song, good
Come
morning,
in.
Song.
Good morning.
Now, Song, your husband won this putt off
Yeah,
last
he
year,
did,
and you
yes.
caddied for him.
Yeah, I did. I was really jealous of him
Yeah?
because
Yeah.
I just do carry.
All right, well, this year you could be there if you putt. What do you like on the? You play up at Mount Osmond. It's a bit hilly up there, isn't it?
Yeah, very windy. Yeah.
Okay.
What's your handicap?
16.4 at the moment.
Okay. That's a
Pretty
good handicap.
Very well, yeah.
Okay. Good luck, Song.
Righto, Song.
Here we go.
Okay, Song's lining up.
So we've got Craig through so far
Mm.
from Tea Tree Gully. Song from Mount Osmond. Stepping up right now.
How's she looking?
Gee, she's lining it up. It should be pretty level. If our builders built this building right, it should be...
Oh, I'm nervous. Here we go.
And go.
taking a bit of time.
A bit too long.
No, that's
Here we go,
okay.
here we go, here we go. Lovely putt, Song.
She got it in.
Song is through to the next round as well.
Yeah, beauty.
Okay.
Right. We got Mark here who plays for the Australian Army and Australian Defence Force side as well.
That's the one.
Well, you're bloody playing golf when you should be defending the country. What's going on?
It's good teams sport for defence.
Exactly. So you have an army team, do you?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, do you travel around a bit and play?
Yeah, they just had an event down in Melbourne, and the next one's here in Adelaide at Royal Adelaide at the end of the month. End of next month.
He's off 4.5.
Bloody hell. Spends
Pretty
way
good.
too much time
All right,
playing
Marcus,
golf.
get over there
Good
and
luck,
see
Mark.
if you can join the other two that have sunk their first putts and go into the final.
All right.
Righto, Mark. Put her in.
Off
nervous.
4. Good handicap.
Everyone's
It's ball's on its way. It drifts to the right. He just misses.
Down to 2.
Yeah,
Righto, last putter, Brenton from Mawson Lakes. Hey, Brenton, how are you?
I'm great. Roo, yourself?
Yeah, very, very well. Off 3.5.
Yeah, I played in your golf team a couple of years
I
ago.
know you did.
Great.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
You
right.
did. You were very good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, step up to the plate, Brenton.
Right.
For your chance to get through to the second round. So
Must be pretty
Craig-
good, Brenton. He's got a yellow hat.
Yeah.
I was about to make a comment about the style. There's a lot of great golf looks.
Got to
in
be
this
good
morning.
if you wear bright fluoro hats.
Oh, because you draw attention to
Very
yourself.
showy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the boots in footy.
Yeah.
But Brenton is very good. He's off 3.5, and he's not liking me talking while he's putting. But
Silence, please. It's on its way. Just
Oh.
misses.
Just misses.
All right,
Righto.
so we've eliminated 3. We go to a second round. We've got Song from Tea Tree Gully. Sorry, Song from Mount Osmond, Craig from Tea Tree Gully. All right, we're going to probably go to a song, and we'll do this during the song. Drama of the putt-off continues in the studio. Would you believe it must have been a fluke? Song and Craig got their first putts in through to the second round.
About a
They've now
10-foot
missed.
putt.
They've missed 7 times each.
Yeah.
For the win.
He's got it!
He's got it.
Oh.
Okay, it's just happened. Finally, Craig on putt number 8 has finally got it. Look, thank you to our 5 golfers. Thank you to all of you for coming in.
Yeah, good on you guys.
And Craig, congratulations, mate. Good luck tomorrow.
Well, I'm even more nervous now.
So you're representing
now that I know
all
I
of
can't
us.
putt.
You weren't lying about that you usually get your third putt in.
Mate, you missed it 7 times.
Yeah, it's like the 8th time's a charm, so it's okay. First and 8 always.
You'll be right
Song,
tomorrow.
bad luck. Well done. Thank you. And thank you to everyone that came in and had a crack as well.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
wow.
Thank you,
All
guys.
right.
This is fantastic.
Good on you, mate.
Enjoy your day
it.
tomorrow.
Enjoy
Thank you
it.
very much.
Yeah, and thanks to our Premier who actually gave us the prize. He rang over the weekend and offered this
No
up
one
for
asked
us.
us.
Yeah.
Straight from his pocket.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chris McDermott's in the studio from Little Heroes Foundation. Morning, Bone.
I've enough of you blokes. I've
Yeah.
seen you yesterday and the day before.
I know.
I rented a lodge somewhere. So, look, it's good to be back. And, crikey, a lot's happened in the last 6 months since we hiked for hope around the streets of Adelaide. You really put us on the map. And I'd say that in all sincerity, we'd struggled for the previous 12 months trying to get the word and the message to resonate about childhood dementia. And the hike for hope just put us on. It was incredible. Since then, the phone's been ringing and things that hadn't been happening for, I'll say, 6, 7, 8 years just started happening. So, as much as I don't like to say nice things about you, blokes, guys, you're an exception to the rule.
exactly.
It's been amazing. So, before we get into some banter, I just wanted to say thanks to Triple M because a lot of what's happened since is a direct result of that.
Yep, and that's all thanks to the people listening out there that contributed to the $115,000 that we raised and just shedding light on a illness that only 10% of the population know about. Here is what happened yesterday at a press conference in the South Parklands with the
Full
Premier.
of the effort that we make around the country in childhood cancer. Around about the same number of people lose their life each year to childhood dementia. Yet there is so little research put into it, and that needs to change, which is why the state government is announcing a $250,000 funding contribution in conjunction to another $250,000 coming from the Little Hero Foundation to see a $500,000 nation-leading effort into the research around childhood dementia.
So, great announcement yesterday from the Premier and a great contribution from our government. Just to remind people, Chris, we go back. We met a lady, Renee, back in November when we did our Hike for Hope. She's got 3 little children. The stats we're told that as many young children will die with childhood dementia as will die with cancer. And we didn't know that. None of us, and Ruth said only 10% of the population know about this.
Yep.
Tell us a bit about Renee's story, just to remind people.
3 children, as you said. At the moment, they're sort of 10, 8 and 6. When the youngest was born, he had some issues at birth and, it was a bit touch and go at the while, but got through. But they did some testing on him and found that he had one of the strains of childhood dementia. Now, there are 70 different strains, and the young fella had one of those strains. The other 2 kids, flying. Nothing wrong, not a cough, not a hiccup, nothing. But such was the anxiety for Renee that she got them tested just so that she could get it out of her mind, and she had it tested and they both tested positive as well. So I guess it's the issue that it can be a sleeper inside you for quite a while. We deal with them, a mum and a family from Sydney whose daughter was 12 years of age, was skiing, was athletic, was dancing, and as happy and engaged with school as you could possibly be. Brekkie table one morning, standing cooking some toast with mum, collapsed, had an epileptic fit on the ground, took her to hospital, and she was found to have a strain too that just resulted in that epileptic fit. So
of dementia.
Yeah. So it is amazing how it plays out. It plays out differently for every child, and you can have it from birth, or you can still have it at birth, but there are no signs that could show up until you're 15 or 20. So there's just obviously a trigger that flicks it, but they're still researching, as you said. Flinders Uni are world leaders in their research, just trying to unlock this.
So what confidence have they got in that the $500,000 that's been pledged there now will be able to find a treatment or a cure? Or?
Yeah, as Kim Hemsley, the professor from Flinders, said yesterday, there's like 54 different treatments available out there in the world, and Australia's had access to just 2 of them. So, it's about getting some of that here. But look, you don't know. It took cancer a long, long time, but the world's changed. How does AI help? We don't know. But the beauty is there's certainty about the research that's going on now, because prior to yesterday's announcement, they were going pretty well 6 months at a time. And when we first met Kim and City, their team, they were done. They had no more funding, so they were going to close.
So how long will this help for?
This will help for 4 years. So this gives them absolute guarantee. And it's largely Kim and her assistant City, so just the 2 of them. Occasionally there's a third, or there's a uni student that comes in to help out. So they are working, as low budget as they possibly can. But Kim Hemsley is a superstar, speaks around the world, really knows it, is fully engaged. And she said something interesting yesterday, that the research all of a sudden has taken on a different perspective for her and City, because they've met Renee, met the family, and so now
personal.
instead of being locked in a little room and just dealing with mice and looking under the microscope, they now see the families, how it impacts, and she said it's just put a completely different spin on the work they do. So
it's impossible,
thanks to you, Mob,
not to meet Renee and have that exact same reaction, because she's the bravest person I've ever met in my life. The fact that she can get up and talk about, her 3 children having a terminal illness each, and she can be informative, educate people, speak well, and the fact that she has the energy to get up and do this, it just blows my mind. It puts your problems into perspective 100%. But yeah, I honestly, anyone who watched that presser or has heard Renee's story won't ever forget about childhood dementia. So,
Loz, I think it's a great point. I mean, do yourself a favour, if for people out there that haven't seen or don't know what we're talking about, or haven't seen Renee, Google it, find it, see her. She's destined for something.
Yeah,
I said this to her before. There's something out there for her, and she's got a lot on her hands, and that's her focus. But she's going to be something. She's already made the New York Times. We've had Denver and Colorado, their Today Show ring and want to speak to her. So it's sort of resonating, but you're right. She articulates it really, really well. And she's a Port Adelaide supporter. So can you believe it?
No surprise there.
Overwhelmed.
Hey, Bone, well done. Little Heroes Foundation, well done to you. And so wrapped yesterday with what the Premier announced, what you've been able to achieve, and good luck to Renee and other families around Australia.
Can I pinch 10 seconds and just thank Triple M first? I know I did at the start, but we wouldn't be here today if Hike for Hope wasn't part of it, or it was the start, and that has given us hope and is giving families hope. So we're going to pinch your title because I think it's really relevant.
Go for it.
The Premier was great. Sarah Game doesn't get enough credit in this. I know she's a One Nationer, and some people will all of a sudden say, she drove this.
Yeah, she did.
She embraced it, drove it, supports us, and had a great relationship with the Premier to get this across the line. So thanks to everybody, and thanks to South Australia for their support.
Good on you, mate. Well said.
Arj Barker's made headlines. He's been all over the news. He asked a woman to leave his show, his comedy show, because she had a baby and the baby was crying. Now, people are divided over whether or not it was appropriate for her to be asked to leave. She was breastfeeding as well at the time, which people have brought into the argument. This is what Arj had to say about it.
I made the decision not for myself, for the audience who wanted to see the show uninterrupted, who wanted to see the jokes work as they should. It was a very difficult situation, but I think I would do it again.
Well done for fronting up.
Yeah, he put a statement out on his Instagram and he's been talking about it, and he wanted to make it clear it wasn't about the fact that she was breastfeeding at all. He has no problem with that. It's about the fact that the baby was crying. And anyone who's been to a comedy show, and there's lots of people who have, know how delicate the audience sort of their attention is. And if someone in the crowd is heckling or someone's drunk or there's someone's phone's going off, it really interferes with the trust of the audience and the comedian.
Punchlines are quite crucial in a comedy show.
The room has to be warm and receptive and ready, and there can't be distractions.
Why wouldn't she just get up and walk out?
Well, I don't know.
Well, she had to be asked.
Yeah.
No,
is
I'm
the
saying,
answer to
why
that.
didn't she do it?
But Roo, look, I want to preface this by saying you've got kids, you've got niece and nephews, Loz, you've been a kid, I've been a kid, I've got kids, I've got a little granddaughter, we've all got kids. So therefore, I think we all get it, we understand. But I don't mind going on record as saying there are places that you don't take a baby. And I'm sorry,
you can
if that
take her,
offends
but
someone.
just if the minute she starts sooking, you take her out.
Yeah.
You do that, whatever you are.
If she was
you're
in the
a
opera,
restaurant
would you sit in the opera with a crying baby? Would you sit in the ballet with a
wouldn't sit
crying
anywhere
baby?
with a crying baby other than maybe a plane.
That's right.
I think
'Cause
that
you can't jump out.
her argument was that, and I heard her speak about this, that she's felt isolated as a new mum. She wanted to go out and do something.
Do that, but walk out when she starts crying.
I know, and I'm trying to sort of like see her perspective because I don't want to just, all dive in on this woman, but it blows my mind.
Maybe she didn't want to, maybe she panicked. She didn't want to get up in the middle of the show and walk out. Maybe she froze, maybe, why would you sit down in the front? Maybe she had seats down there. I don't know. There's a few questions.
It's not like a flight where you can't not bring the kid. It's not like a restaurant where if you're going out to eat, sometimes you have no choice but to bring your child. She bought tickets to a comedy show and she went there fully knowing.
Can I say one other thing? The chances of a baby at that age being really quiet for the whole show are very small.
Nothing.
But she should have been thinking about that, and she should have actually had a bit of a plan as soon as if she does crack it a little bit.
And can I also say, if I'm on a plane with a crying, screaming baby, I'd like to say, and I am, honestly, I'm tolerant of it because I get it. You think we're on a plane for an hour here to Melbourne or an hour and a half to Sydney.
Little baby's ears hurt.
Correct. I feel for I actually feel for the mum. I feel for the baby because there might be an ear thing going on or whatever.
Yeah.
And you get it. And you go, good. You actually feel for the person, I think, in most cases. Sitting next to them in a comedy show is totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a real irony to this story. The mum and the baby appeared on the project last night.
Yeah, so I just thought it'd be really nice to do something that I hadn't done in a while, and just sort of get back to sort of a pre-baby me. She's
and hey,
super cranky right now.
Okay, maybe she can go to Dad just for a quick second. But a mum with three little kids,
try.
I reckon you need a laugh.
Now, if Arj Barker says that, he's world headlines and he's terrible.
Yeah.
But the female host of the project politely says, look, do you think you could take the baby out and give it to Dad?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Why is it okay
I know.
in the interview about it?
Yeah.
And then she goes on to say, well, you just needed a laugh, didn't you? But it's like, but you just asked her to remove the baby, which is
Correct.
exactly what Arj did.
Yeah. Guilty.
Guilty, yeah.
Case closed.
Rudets and Loz here on this Tuesday morning.
25 degrees today. It may well be the
beautiful.
last warm day of the year. It's all heading down to
don't say that.
18, 19, 20 after today. But it's a perfect day to get your cardboard cutouts out and get as much publicity as you can. Our 10 lucky guests that are trying to win prizes to go into UK, to go down to Live Golf in Adelaide this weekend for Fisher or in the watering hole. So get as much exposure as you can.
Yeah, guys.
And we'll catch up tomorrow. Have a
See
great
you there.
day.
Bye.
Thanks for checking out the Rudits and Loz podcast, driven by the Ford Ranger Raptor, inspired by desert racing. Ford Ranger Raptor has been developed by the Australian design and engineering team with Ford Performance DNA for true enthusiasts.